This is the Scrap Metal Commodities Recycling and Economic Report by BENLEE and Raleigh Goldsboro Recycling, July 17, 2017. Last week, commodity prices rose and the economic reports were mostly positive. U.S. steel production rose slightly to the same level we have seen at this point in the last 2 years. Oil rose almost $2 a barrel to $46.54 on good demand. The IEA, the International Energy Agency, raised their global oil consumption forecast, saying that global demand is stronger than forecast in India, the US, and Germany. The oil rig count rose by just 2 to 765. The rate of increase has dropped, but the oil rig count continues to rise slowly. We continue to see upside to the rig count, which is still down a big 52% from 3 years ago. Iron ore continues its recent rise up at $2 a metric ton to close at $65.50. This continues to put upward pressure on finished steel prices. Scrap ferrous prices rose slightly. There remains positive trends in the economy and steel use. This could bring steady to slightly higher prices in the months to come. Hot dip galvanized steel rose more than $30 a ton to $897.50. as we continue to see slightly higher raw material prices and energy prices while seeing good demand. The previous chart shows that in March 2016, the Obama administration slapped major tariffs on steel, leading to major steel price increases in the U.S., which helped the steel industry and hurt sectors like automotive. The Trump administration is signaling this week that they may add to these tariffs and replace some of them with others under what's called Section 232. There is mixed opinions as to whether this is a net positive for the U.S. economy. Stainless 304 scrap held steady at the lower level of 29.5 cents. There remains little news to move the stainless markets. Copper rose 4 cents to $2.69 on little news. Copper continues to trade in a tight range for months after the major rise late last year. Prices are up this morning to $2.74 because of solid economic data coming out of China last night. The 5-year chart shows these copper prices remain in that tight band we just discussed after the run-up after last year's election. Copper inventories increased slightly but remain on the high side. As inventories rise, this puts downward pressure on prices. Aluminum held about steady, ending at 86.6 cents per pound, near its multi-year high on continued solid worldwide demand in automotive and construction markets. Aluminum inventories rose just a bit, but remain near about 9-year lows on this good demand, which is helping keep upward pressure on prices. U.S. retail sales, which are a key part of the economy, fell slightly, mainly due to gasoline prices and lower sales in traditional retail stores. But sales of building material stores and the internet rose very nicely. U.S. manufacturing continues its upward trend in June after hitting a multi-year low about a year ago. Motor vehicles actually saw an increase, as did mining, chemicals, machinery production. For the second quarter of 2017, U.S. industrial production was up a strong 4.7% over last year, with mining, drilling, and utilities leading the way. U.S. inflation remains subdued, having increased only 1.6% year over year in June. This is below the U.S. Federal Reserve target of 2%. The low number was heavily driven by the reduction in gasoline prices. Low inflation will add pressure on the U.S. Fed to keep interest rates low, with the goal of working to increase the rate of economic growth, which would cause slightly higher inflation. Chinese economy, as measured by GDP, grew 6.9% in the second quarter, which was higher than forecast. It was also the largest expansion rate since the third quarter of 2015, as industrial output and retail sales picked up. For all of 2017, though, the forecast remains at a 26-year low of 6.5%. Wall Street continues its 8+ year rise and hit new highs yet again last week, with the Dow Jones average closing at another new high of 21,638. We have talked about the wealth effect in the past. If Wall Street holds these gains or increases a bit more, this will help the economy as people feel wealthy and spend some of these increases. As always, feel free to call or email me with any questions, and we hope all have a safe and profitable week.